I need to bring you up to date. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed the sort of few bits and bobs that we put out. Seeing there's a lot of new people, so thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy what we end up doing with this car. But I was hoping that this video would be me sat here with the car next to me, looking a lot more together than it currently does, and me to say, oh, sorry I haven't got you up, here's everything that we've done. As it always seems to do with this car, things have changed quite rapidly and drastically. So, the challenge is now I found a lot more rust than I initially thought. We've got a little bit of rust in the boot, in the boot well left to do. We did the arch. In the rear inner arch, which is basically 5 panels, it's the outer sill, a few inner panels where they all converge, is all rotten out, so I need to do a big repair in there. Rear window seal, the metal around there is pretty much gone. I know there's a little bit of rust on the front windscreen as well. I was hopefully going to avoid doing that, but that isn't going to happen now. So we're going to have to go full glass out and really delve into that side of repair. I was going to shot blast and do the whole chassis. Financially, that isn't really going to work, and I've got a very strict time frame. This car needs to be done by June. The first trip is going to be in July. I'm going to take it to its first show in August. You can probably work it out which show it's going to be, but it's going to be shown in August. It's going to be on the road by June, and I'm saying that, and I'm going to stick to it. That is the plan. So this year, the car will be on the road and it'll be ready, but we've got a very, very long way to go. So we're gonna go with powder coating as much that bolts to the car as possible, getting it as fresh looking and as good looking as we possibly can, and the chassis and the body is sealed up as well done as I can within the restraints that I've got. That being said, got a lot to catch you up on. Powder coated parts, new parts, what else? Oh, we'll throw it back to just before Christmas, where me and my friend Kieran shot a video in collaboration with Loco. A couple cars came down, we shot some really cool stuff. You can go back and watch it through the link over here somewhere. But first of all, here's all the behind the scenes and what we've been getting up to in the garage since then. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, or this month's video. And yeah, let's get this car done.
Too close, mate.
Oh, sorry, I'll take a step back, is that better?
There you go.
Okay, right. Ready?
Where's the car?
Ready?
Why do you have to park there? Park somewhere else.
It's done now, whether it will actually work and lift the car up or not.
Nice.
So after welding in my first patch in the back arch, I felt confident enough to crack on with smoothing the engine bay and filling in all the mouldings and holes that are in there. I didn't really know what I was doing. As you see, I sort of was learning as I went, but I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I need to still fill all of the welds and sort of smooth them down, but as a starting point, it's looking a hell of a lot better than it did. I've had to fully stop myself because I've just been welding away, but bearing in mind that the first bit of welding I've ever done, certainly on this car, was that patch in the back the other day, I'm pretty happy with how these are turning out. I'm just sort of spotting over. I'm trying to work out if by the time I get to, we're hot in here. I'm trying to work out that if by the time I get to the patches that I've made, the little fill-in patches, people who are far more in the know than I am have suggested that I need to use a MIG welder to just fuse it together. But what I might do is I might make the patches ever so slightly smaller, and then I can just fill in the gaps. There's probably lots of you out there who are good at welding and are screaming at me saying, you're an idiot, you shouldn't be doing this. As far as I'm aware, these are going to fill with body filler. They're going to go smooth and they're going to look absolutely fine for what I need them to do. And to be honest, it's really therapeutic. I'm having a sick time doing it. Got my tunes on. I am having the best time. So, in the time that I last spoke, I have knocked this camera off of its tripod, which was possibly the most scary thing that's happened to me this year. And I've got really good at welding. That's because I did the first half without turning the gas on. I guess there's multiple ways to learn, but yes, we did the first half of welds without the gas on. A friend of mine came in and said, oh, look at these welds I'm doing. I don't know how to get all these holes out. And he said, have you turned the gas on? I said no. So I turned the gas on and it's got really good. So we've done most of this panel. I've done most of this panel now. I just need to find out a way to fill these bigger holes, these two here, and need to get a little tool so I can grind down all these little welds in here and in here that the bigger grinder can't fit. And then it will be on to the big holes in the main bit of the bay. And I think we're about done. It's very fulfilling doing this. I've got that sort of weird overconfidence that now I want to go and crack on with some of the bits inside the car. My only fear is how much fire the welding likes to start on the other side and in the inner seals and at the back. I have seen that sort of once or twice too many times. So I'm going to try and stay in good practice and stay about half an hour just until everything's sorted. But we're on track. We're on track. Have to have this car done by June now, and I'll tell you why later on down the line, but June is the goal for this car to be on the road. Hold me to it, I'll try my best, but June, this car's going to make some noise. Not sure where this will drop in on where it's going to be next, but enjoy the next part. I can weld. I can't. to go home, but I haven't. I wanted to get on with the slightly bigger holes that are in the slam panel here, because they're basically the last two that I need to fill. So I want to get them done before I go home. They're kind of hard to do. So they start as these. They're like a raised mound. So it's like a moulding that's got a slight lip in it. And I was trying to work out how best way to do it. Whether I just cut a square out and fill it with a square, but there was nothing really square enough here to actually make sense of doing it. Sorry, that's terrible English. There wasn't really a space where I could fit a perfect square in or anything to square it off. So what I've done is I've cut it into sections, flattened them out onto a piece of wood, and I've cut this little round piece that fits up in the middle. It only fits one way around, but yeah, that'll fit up in the middle. So I'll basically do welds along each of those lines, welds along each of those cuts, weld around that circle, and that should keep it nice and flat, and it should eliminate that lump that's in there. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying doing the welding. Like, the actual fabrication side of it is actually very, very exciting and enjoyable. So I might spend a little bit more time doing this. We shall see. But yeah, I'll check in a bit. And then me and my dad started on the project, update the headlight covers that we were previously running on the car. And we designed them to be able to clip on and off really easily of the inside headlights, but it actually meant that I never took them off and I just ran them as covers the whole time. So I wanted to try and improve on that concept and create something that was a little bit more useful, and especially for the application that we're using with the new engine, oil cooler, etc. We need to try and increase the airflow through the engine bay as much as possible. This engine, and certainly these cars, like to run hot, and with the added displacement and added size, it's gonna be a lot hotter. So we decided to replace the headlights altogether with a custom 3D printed air intake. We designed it to use as much of the surface area as possible to channel the air in, and also from a distance look exactly like one of the headlight covers that I think looked so good anyways. It's all 3D printed in a really durable material, so it should last just as long as the car does. And to be honest, judging by the rust, probably further than that.